It seems like everywhere you turn these days, everybody's talking about AI.
It really is.
This AI that,
Yeah.
1 minute it's like, oh, AI is going to, be able to cure all these diseases that we thought were incurable. And the next minute it's like, AI can write you a symphony or something.
Right, or come up with the perfect gourmet meal plan for your week.
Exactly.
It's pretty mind-blowing.
It is, and it kind of makes you, you can't help but wonder, like, what are the limits of this stuff? Is there anything that AI can't do?
Yeah, it's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's a question that a lot of very smart people are thinking about.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially when it comes to the future of work, and which jobs, might be impacted.
Yeah, like, are we all going to be out of a job in a couple years? Is that what we're looking at here?
Well, that's what we're going to try to unpack today. He's get a little bit of insight.
Yeah, get some insight. And,
Yeah.
and the insight's coming from none other than Bill Gates, who's kind of, weighed in on this whole AI debate.
He certainly has a front row seat to the whole thing.
He does. And, he's actually identified 3 job categories.
Oh, interesting.
That he thinks are safe.
Okay.
Safe from AI, at least for now.
For now.
So, if you're listening, I'm sure you're probably wondering, what are those 3 jobs?
Absolutely.
What are those jobs that Bill Gates thinks that, we don't have to worry about robots coming for just yet?
Well, he's pinpointed 3 really fascinating areas, and they're all very different, but they share a common thread.
Okay.
Which is this essential human element that seems to be really difficult to replicate with artificial intelligence.
Okay.
So the first category is coders and AI programmers.
Okay.
The second is energy experts.
Okay.
And the third is biologists.
Okay, well, let's start with the coders and AI programmers, because that's the one that kind of jumped out at me.
Yeah.
Because it almost seems a little ironic, right?
It does.
Like, the people who are building AI are the ones who are safe from AI.
Yeah. At first glance, it seems a little counterintuitive, right? But when you really dig into it, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, why is that?
Well, because AI, it's getting very good at certain tasks. It can write certain blocks of code.
Mm-hmm.
It can debug simple errors. But the really creative and complex work of AI programming requires a different kind of intelligence.
Right.
It requires a deep understanding of logic and problem solving.
Okay.
And that's something that AI just hasn't quite mastered yet.
So it can kind of do the grunt work.
Exactly.
But it can't actually come up with the innovative ideas or really solve those complex problems in a creative way.
Yeah. It's like, you can give AI a cookbook and it can follow the recipe perfectly.
Yeah.
But can it come up with a whole new dish?
Right.
Can it improvise when it's missing an ingredient?
Right.
That's where human intelligence still comes in.
And I would think also, like, if something goes wrong, if there's like a bug in the system or something,
Absolutely.
It takes a human to kind of go in and figure out what went wrong.
Yeah, you need that human coder to debug the system, to refine it, to make sure it's actually doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Right. And I mean, I guess it's constantly evolving too, right? So you need somebody who can kind of stay ahead of the curve and keep adapting.
Absolutely.
So it sounds like, even though AI is becoming a more and more powerful tool,
Yes.
it still takes a human to wield that tool effectively.
Yeah, exactly. And, Gates himself said that the minds behind AI hold the keys to its future evolution.
Right.
So it's not just about building the systems today. It's about shaping where they go tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if AI is going to keep evolving, somebody's got to be there to actually, keep pushing it forward.
Precisely.
Keep innovating.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's coders and AI programmers. What about energy experts? That's the second one you mentioned.
Yeah, that's a very different field.
It feels very different.
It is very different.
Yeah, like way more kind of grounded in the real world.
Right. Yeah. You're dealing with physical infrastructure,
Yeah.
global systems.
Right.
The stakes are incredibly high.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about keeping the lights on.
Exactly.
We're talking about, responding to natural disasters, all this stuff that is just so critical to our daily lives.
It's not just about ones and zeros anymore.
No.
You're dealing with the real-world consequences of energy production and distribution.
And it's complicated too, right?
Incredibly.
I mean, you've got the whole climate change issue, you've got geopolitical instability, you've got, technological advancements that are happening all the time.
Yeah, it's a constantly shifting landscape.
Yeah.
And you need experts who can navigate that landscape, who can make decisions under pressure, who can anticipate problems before they arise.
And so where does AI fit into all of this?
Well, AI is actually playing a growing role in the energy sector.
Okay.
It can be used to analyze massive amounts of data,
Okay.
to optimize power grids,
Okay.
to predict energy consumption patterns,
Okay.
even to simulate the performance of new technologies.
So it's like a really powerful tool for helping energy experts do their jobs better,
Exactly.
but it's not replacing them.
Not yet, at least.
Yeah.
Because you still need that human judgment.
Yeah.
You still need that experience, that intuition that comes from years of working in the field.
Right. I mean, there's always going to be those unexpected things that happen
Always.
that, you can't program an algorithm for.
Right. You can't predict every black swan event.
Exactly.
And when those events happen, you need a human being who can make a judgment call.
So it's like AI can provide the information,
Yeah.
but it takes a human to actually know what to do with it.
Precisely.
Okay, so that's energy experts.
Yeah.
Now, what about biologists? How do they fit into this whole picture?
Oh, biology is a fascinating field
It is.
because it's so complex.
Yeah.
You're dealing with living systems with the very building blocks of life.
And it's always changing too, right?
Always.
Like new discoveries are being made all the time.
Yeah, it's a field that's constantly pushing the boundaries of knowledge.
Yeah.
And AI is actually having a huge impact on biology already.
Okay.
It's being used to analyze massive amounts of genetic data,
Okay.
to identify potential drug targets,
Okay.
to personalize medicine.
Wow.
It's really revolutionizing the way we understand and treat disease.
That's amazing. But so why are biologists still so important?
Well, because AI can't do everything.
Okay.
AI can analyze data.
Okay.
It can identify patterns,
Yeah.
but it can't come up with those really groundbreaking hypotheses.
Okay.
It can't design those ingenious experiments that lead to major breakthroughs.
Right. It's kind of like it can do the number crunching,
Yeah,
but it can't actually come up with the big ideas.
exactly.
And I guess there's also that element of intuition, right?
Absolutely.
It's like, a biologist might look at some data and see something that an AI would miss.
Right. They have that deep understanding of the field
Yeah.
that allows them to connect the dots in a way that AI just can't.
So it's like AI can be a really powerful assistant to a biologist, but it can't replace that human element of creativity and intuition.
Precisely.
And so Bill Gates believes that biologists are going to continue to play a really crucial role
Yes, he does.
in pushing the boundaries of scientific discovery.
Yeah, he sees them as the trailblazers.
Okay, so let's kind of zoom out for a second here.
Okay.
We've got these three different fields: coders, AI programmers, energy experts, biologists.
Right.
And Bill Gates says they're all safe from AI.
At least for now.
Yeah, at least for now. But why? What is it about these jobs that makes them so resistant to automation?
Well, I think the common thread here
Okay.
is that they all require uniquely human skills,
Okay. Like what?
like creativity,
Okay,
like
okay.
critical thinking, like adaptability.
Okay.
AI is great at following rules, at processing information, at finding patterns,
Yeah.
but it's not so good at thinking outside the box, at coming up with novel solutions, at dealing with unexpected situations.
And these are all things that are really important in these three fields. Because you're constantly dealing with new challenges, with complex problems, with situations that you couldn't have possibly anticipated.
Yeah, exactly.
So it sounds like what Bill Gates is saying is that, yeah, AI is going to change the world,
Yeah.
but there are still going to be jobs that require that human touch.
Yeah, those uniquely human skills, they're going to be really valuable,
And those are the jobs that are going to be safe.
at least for the foreseeable future.
So if you're out there listening and you're kind of, wondering about your own job and
Yeah.
whether or not a robot's going to take it,
Right.
it's good to keep this in mind, right?
Absolutely.
Like, think about what are those skills that make you uniquely human?
Right.
What are the things that you can do that a machine can't?
Yeah.
And those are the skills that you want to focus on developing.
Yeah, because those are the skills that are going to be in high demand
Exactly.
in a future that's increasingly driven by AI.
So just to recap for you,
Okay.
Bill Gates has identified 3 job categories that he thinks are relatively safe from AI: coders and AI programmers,
Okay.
energy experts, and biologists.
Right.
And the reason for this is that these jobs all require uniquely human skills.
Yeah.
Things like creativity, critical thinking, adaptability.
Things that make us human.
Exactly. And so, as you're thinking about the future
Yeah.
and where you fit into all of this,
Yeah.
it's good to kind of keep these insights in mind.
Absolutely.
And, think about those skills that make you uniquely valuable
Right.
in a world that's increasingly automated.
And it makes you wonder, are there other jobs out there
Yeah.
that might be similarly resistant to AI?
Right. What are those jobs that really require that human spark?
Yeah, what are the jobs that are going to be around for a long time?
It's an interesting question to think about,
It is.
and one that we'll have to keep exploring as AI continues to evolve.
Absolutely.
Well, that's all the time we have for today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
But, keep thinking about this stuff because it's only going to become more important as we move into the future.
Absolutely.
And who knows what kind of amazing new jobs AI will create
That's right.
that we can't even imagine yet.
I can't wait to find out.